Hey guys, my name is Kai, also known as D-Anxiety. This is my first ever YouTube video, so I'm a little nervous. I'm a little razzled. But today I will be talking about my breast reduction process from start to finish, from the first time I mentioned it to my doctor to literally now me being 3 weeks post-op. First, I would like to thank my mom for not only taking care of me during my whole recovery, but also for my tripod and my ring light, because she is truly just so good to me. So good to me for that. So thank you, Mom. You guys like my shirt? Love you, bestie boo. All right. So, little background. I have to write down notes so I don't forget everything, because ciao. Anyway, so a little background. I am 20 years old. Before I got my surgery, I didn't get measured, but I knew for a fact that I was at least a triple D. And you know, I had really bad back pain. I had pain like underneath my ribs. Like I couldn't lay down if I was on my phone. Like I couldn't lay down on my stomach, because as soon as I'd get up, it would be like a lot of pain. Like I think my ribs were like inflamed or something, which ill. And now after my surgery, I still haven't been measured, but the doctor said that I'm around like a C now, and y'all, life-changing. If you are considering on getting a breast reduction, I 100% am here for it. See, now I can wear whatever I want without crying in the mirror, because that happened way too many times. There'd be too many times where I was going to go out with my friends, or you know, just go out and do something, and I would look in the mirror, I would see my body, I would see my breast, I would see everything, and I just cry. Like I've had severe body dysmorphia probably since like sophomore, junior year of high school, up until like literally 3 weeks ago, and it just progressively got worse. Fun fact, when I was in high school, my friend bought me a binder for Christmas, my senior year of high school, and I cried in the library, because I was so happy that I was able to diminish the appearance of my breast. It was the first thing that people noticed about me. You know, guys would really only talk to me because I had big boobs, which, sir, they are just lumps of fat. So after I graduated high school, I joined the Air Force and went to BMT, which was super cool, because I was like totally hot 18-year-old. My ass, like after I graduated BMT, like I gained so much weight and muscle. I went in about 115 pounds. My breasts weren't as large. I went in about 115 pounds. I came out, I was about like 130, and it was all just pure, like just muscle. And then once I got settled into my first base, I started doing my job, and I wasn't working out every day. You know, the muscle slowly turns into fat, and you know, my breasts began to get bigger. I'm on birth control, so like it got to the point where even when I would go out to the gym, or I would go for a run or something, I would have to wear like two really, it got to the point where when I would start running, or if I wanted to go work out, or you know, just be active, I would have to wear two sports bras. And even then it wasn't really doing anything, because as soon as I would like, you know, bounce, or if I was running, you know, you bounce when you run, when I'm doing like different types of exercises, like I'm gonna bounce, and they would just bounce out the bra, which was irritating. Having to constantly pull up the bra, fix it, and you know, custom made bras are at least $60 for bigger breasts. at least $60. I've seen some that are like $100. I wasn't trying to pay $60 plus for a bra that's made for bigger breasts, or made for bigger breasts. I hate it when people do air quotes incorrectly, but made for bigger breasts, and then my boobs still fall out. Like, it just, I couldn't have it anymore. Like, I was like, you know what, it's time. So I scheduled an appointment with my PCM, which is my primary care manager, and I just told him, I was just like, I want a breast reduction. What do we gotta do? And that's where the process began. Now, that was probably around mid-February. The first thing that he did was he prescribed me some medicine, some pain medicine called naproxen, and he was hoping that that would kind of like alleviate the stress on my back, which obviously is not gonna work long term, just because like my breasts were so large. Like, I needed a solid solution, and they were trying to give me like quick fixes, because in order to get your surgery approved with TRICARE, you have to prove that you like really need it. So you, like, in the military, you have to jump through all these hoops, and it was a very long process, and you'll see as I talk about it more. So after, you know, probably about 2 weeks of me taking the naproxen, he was just like, are you feeling any better? Like, is your back pain getting any better? I was like, no. He was like, okay, well, now we're going to get you enrolled in some physical therapy. I was like, okay. So I went to physical therapy from late February to April, I believe, and obviously it did nothing. I really couldn't win. I was not winning in life in this moment, so I was like, oh my gosh. And so I just told them, I was like, look, physical therapy is not going to cut it. I need a breast reduction, and I need it now. And they were like, okay, we hear you. We hear you. So since both the medication and physical therapy didn't work, that was enough to prove to TRICARE that, you know, I really did need the surgery. So I was approved to go see a physician off base, and he pretty much just, he did a mammogram, which if you're younger and you don't know what a mammogram is, they take your breast, they put it between like these two like plates, and they kind of just press it down, and then they take a scan of it. That's what a mammogram is. Normally you don't get them till you're about like 21 or just like a little bit older, but I had to get one since, you know, I was trying to get breast surgery. So after seeing this physician off base, I was recommended to go to a plastic surgeon that was about 2 hours away from me, which TRICARE did not like, because it was something about a 100-mile radius. They wanted me to stay within blah blah blah. I don't really know how it worked. I just know that for about a month there was a standstill on me going to go see someone, or going to go see that doctor, the plastic surgeon. So I was calling my clinic every single day. I was like, boop, boop, boop. Hey, where y'all at? What's going on? Who do I need to call? What do I need to do to get this ball rolling? And like, it was just at a standstill until finally I was approved to go for a consultation with this plastic surgeon. So I go to the consultation, and she, you know, well, you don't know, obviously, but what they do is, you know, you take off your shirt, and then my plastic surgeon, she kind of drew on me where she would cut at. She was less like, okay, your nipples are down here, they're gonna be up here now. I was like, okay, cool. And she kind of just showed me where everything would be after the surgery, and I was just like, all right, cool. And she was like, yeah, so once we get all that, you know, contained, you'd be about to see. I was like, that sounds great. So after we had this plan, she took a few pictures, and she was kind of just compiling this document to send to TRICARE so they would approve the surgery. And that took even longer. It took a long time, and I finally got my surgery date in August, on my birthday actually. In early August was when TRICARE approved my surgery on my 20th birthday. I had a date in early August, and my surgery date was on September 21st of 2021, and I was so excited. Oh my gosh, guys. So if you didn't know, before surgery you can't eat or drink anything for a few hours. I think it's supposed to be like 8 hours. I stopped eating and drinking at 10 p.m. on September 20th, and I didn't eat anything until after my surgery, which was September 21st, probably around like 3 p.m., maybe 4. Or no, I think it was after 5. I think it was after 5. So I hadn't eaten that whole time. And so anyway, the surgery went fine. I was all loopy, so obviously I don't remember the surgery, but I remember waking up, and y'all, you have to be prepared for this. I woke up and I was just in a daze, and I was just looking around, and then the pain hit me like all at once. It felt like something was just, oh my gosh, the pain was horrible. I'm gonna be real with you. The pain was excruciating, because you're being like, it's a surgery, like it's going to hurt, like that's unavoidable, it's going to hurt. So I remember waking up, I started crying. The nurse came in, she was just like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. And she gave me a pain medicine. I took the pain medicine, I drank some water, and I said, I need my mom. Please bring my mom. I need my mommy. I really do. I need my mom. My mom comes in the room. She's like, are you okay? I was like, no. She was like, your boobs look good though. I was like, I looked down. I was like, they do look good. After surgery, me and my mom got in the car. She actually made me this pillow. Let me grab it real quick. So my mom, she likes to, I think it's called a Cricut. She likes to do things like this on her Cricut. So she made me this pillow, and after you get your breast reduction surgery, you kind of have to have a barrier between you and the seat belt, so it's not like pressing against you. So she made me this pillow for that reason, and I was just sitting there the whole time with my pillow, like in so much pain. We went to Starbucks. I ate a bacon and chicken panini, and I think I got a coffee or something. That was the first thing I ate all day, was a bacon and chicken panini and a coffee, which is all I really wanted. So weird. So the first night was horrible, absolutely horrible. I kept having to get up and go to the bathroom because my mom kept giving me water so I could stay hydrated. I was drinking a lot of water. I was taking my pain medication that they prescribed me every like 4 to 6 hours. One thing that you have to remember is, like, immediately after the surgery, you can't move your upper half almost at all. You mostly have to rely on your legs. I was doing a lot of squatting when I had to go to the bathroom. I don't know how to explain it, but you can't like move your upper body, so you just have to operate entirely with your legs. When you wipe, you have to like wipe, you know how usually you go from the back and you swipe like that? You have to go from the front and kind of like swipe back. Like, oh my gosh, y'all, it was crazy. It was a process and it was horrible. I hated that first night. I kept waking up because I was in pain, kept taking my pain medication, and then you have to sit propped up, you have to sleep propped up with some pillows, and I just kept waking up. I put my headphones in, I was watching YouTube on my phone while my mom was in the other bed just sleeping, trying to take care of me, which, again, thank you so much, Mom, because I'm not gonna say you really didn't have to do that, but like, you're my rock. sleeping propped up and waking up at random hours and watching YouTube videos and taking pain medication, that was my entire life for 3 days. Like a whole 3 days straight. That's all I did was sit up with some pillows, propped up with some pillows, get up and use the bathroom, eat something, go back to sleep, wake up, watch some YouTube videos, go back to sleep, probably eat something again, drink a lot of water. That was like it for like 3 days straight. That's all I was doing. After those 3 days, I personally started to wean off, or wean? I think it's wean. Anyway, after 3 days, I personally started to wean off the pain medication that they gave me, because they do give you prescribed narcotics. I think that's standard for what they do. So after about 3 days of taking it nonstop, 4 to 6 hours, like clockwork. After that, I started just taking like maybe 2 a day, and then just not at all. So I was completely off of the medication in about like 6 days maybe. After about a whole week, I was able to drive again. Like, you know, you can't drive while you're on medication, like heavy medication like I was. So after that, I was able to drive again. I was driving to like go get some food in my mom's car. After a full week, I was able to sleep just on my back. And now I can, you know, rotate on my side, but I try not to sleep on my stomach. Like, but you can, after like about the first week, you should be able to sleep on your back, unless, you know, it's painful for you. Then just keep sleeping propped up. You know, don't rush anything, don't hurt yourself or anything. So taking showers, these are the things that I feel like people don't talk about. So taking showers, which you need a shower, like you don't want to be stinking, even though like you're not feeling 100%, you can't be smelling like you ain't 100%. You gotta keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. Taking showers was so hard, so very hard. Those first few days, horrible. So what my mom did was she got me this long loofah. It kind of like had a handle. You know how back scratchers are, how they're really long? It was pretty much like that, but it had a loofah at the end of it. And I would use that in the shower because I didn't have to bend down all the way. I could get it on my crevices, and I was all clean and feeling good. Now here is something that you need to stay on top of. I was constipated for probably four days. Like, I could not poop for it. It's poop, like, I don't know how to put it nicely. Like, I really could not use the bathroom serious. Like, I could not go number 2 for like 4 days. Like, it was horrible. My stomach was sticking out to like here. Like, my stomach was bigger than it was supposed to be. Like, I looked like I was in my first trimester. Like, it was horrible. Oh my gosh. My stomach was sticking out, and my dad literally was like, oh, look at your stomach. Which just made me feel like crap. I was like, well, thanks, Dad. But yes, more than likely you're gonna have constipation because of the medication. Usually you can request some stool softener, or I don't know if you can request it, but it's something that you should probably ask your doctor about, if you can get stool softener. So just keep in mind that after your surgery, you are not going to be able to lift anything really. Anything like 5 to 10 pounds, that's your max. Like, do not go over 10 pounds because you will hurt yourself, and it's just not worth it. Like, if you have a job that requires you to do like lifting or moving things around, you need to take at least 2-3 weeks off of work. Luckily for me, I have a desk job, so I was able to go back to work within 2 weeks. But if that's what your job is, if your job requires you to lift weights and stuff, you know, you need to coordinate with whoever you got to coordinate with and get that time off, because you need to heal. Because if anything rips or tears, like, it is not going to feel good. I don't know how it feels because I haven't been lifting, obviously, but I don't want to know how it feels. So my friends asked me a few questions and I'm just gonna answer them again in this video. So first question is, how long does it take to heal? So the healing process usually lasts from about 2 to 6 weeks. Could take longer, probably won't take shorter, but it could very well take longer. As far as like feeling able to get up and go around, I guess that really depends on your pain tolerance level. If you feel like you need to stay in bed for a week before you can get up and go do something, take that time. Like, don't let anyone try to rush you into something that, you know, you can't do physically. Like, you need to just sit, do what you have to do. Another question I got was, how sore was I? So like I said earlier, in the first 48, I would say 24 to 48 hours is probably the worst. Like, even being in the car, small bumps, it was just excruciating. I was sitting in the car with tears rolling down my eyes, literally praying to God. My mom was like, what are you doing? I was like, I am praying because I am in so much pain, and I need God to like hold my hand on this one, because I can't do this. But I got through it, and you can too, sis. I promise you, like, the end result is very much worth it. Another question I got was, how is the scarring? And I had to look up the answer to this question, and I don't really remember because this was like 2 weeks ago. But from what I remember, like, there is a possibility of scarring, because, you know, it's a major surgery, so there's always the possibility of scarring. There is a possibility that, you know, it can heal correctly and, you know, you'll be fine. Doctors and plastic surgeons will usually try to do their best to minimize scarring as much as possible, but if it's inevitable, it's inevitable. And if that's a problem for you, then I don't know, just talk to your doctor about it. And my friend asked me if my nipple was remade. It was not, and I'm going to explain to you guys how the surgery actually goes. So what they do is, I watched the video of, not mine, but of someone else's surgery. So what they do is they cut around the nipple, they cut the skin around the nipple, and then they kind of just take off the top layer of skin right around the nipple, so the blood flow doesn't stop, so your nipple doesn't die, and then you just have like a dead black nipple, and you don't want that anyway. So they keep that skin there so the blood flow will continue, and then around it is where they actually cut. So let's see, so I got scars going from like all the way back here all the way up here, and then scars right here, and then my nipples are like up here. So they don't remake your nipple, but when you get a breast reduction, it's a reduction and it's also a breast lift. So when they cut, you know, they remove whatever fat that they need to remove, they cauterize the area, and then they, as far as I saw, they kind of just like sew it back up. Your nipple, I'm not really sure how to answer that question. Like, your nipple isn't really remade. It's just like, it's still your nipple. They don't add anything. They don't, you know, they just remove all that fat. They cauterize the bleeding. They sew it up, put the stitches in there or whatever your doctor does, and they send you on your merry way. Anyway, that's it guys for this video. In my next one, I was thinking about doing a Shein haul because I got a lot of new clothes and some new dresses, because I was so excited for my merch reduction that I was just like, I need some new clothes. So I did like a whole Shein shopping, which do not fight me. Do not fight me on fast fashion. I'm sorry, I'm cheap. This shirt is actually from Shein. They probably stole the design, and I'm sorry again. But the shirt is very cute. It's like a Renaissance painting. But yeah, whatever you guys want to see, comment it down below, and I will see you next time.